Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. And I say that we don't have any girls because we have no really teenage girls, but we do have some teenage kids, boys here. As I said to somebody last night, the demographics of this seminar or my following has shifted the last 10 years from roughly 35 to late 40s 10 years ago to today, 15 years old to 35. And with the predominance, 54% are from 17 to 31. Now, there's a reason for that. Now, I'm just going to ask you, I don't want you, just where you're from and your age as we go around.
From Ohio.
Age?
24. DC, 38. Switzerland, 44.
Ukraine, 30.
Romania, 21. Ireland, 27.
27.
28, Connecticut. London, 28. Chicago, 42. Chicago, 34.
Wait, stop. You guys don't look alike. Both from Chicago. But anyway, go ahead.
London, 19.
Puerto Rico, 39.
Romania, 29.
Melbourne, 25.
London, 20.
UK, 28.
New York, 19.
London, 37.
Spain, 27.
Chicago, 32.
You had to think about it, didn't you? Okay.
California, 52.
Look at the old head. No shit. Okay.
Australia, 26.
Now, in this group, except for old timer here, she more or less she skews the numbers out, but it's roughly what I said. And the reason for that, one of the reasons, is because of the internet, and the kids. Information is almost instantaneous now, and the kids, one, get the information right away, and they can get it on their handheld instrument. And now you find out much quicker in life that you're not happy. You find out much quicker in life that there's an alternative. I can't tell you how many times in the last 2 or 3 years, the older people in the audience or the group, God, I wish I'd heard about you 20 years ago. This blah, 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 bullshit. Okay. Well, I was around 20 years ago, but you couldn't Google fuck me. Okay? Or you couldn't link fuck me or whatever. Okay? And there was no Facebook. I turned down probably 100 Facebook requests a day. Or I shouldn't say turn them down. When they're asking me to do something, I don't click on it. So whatever that means. Whereas on LinkedIn, I accept many because not because I want to do business with them, but because if you can use me because you follow me, and that's what most of the kids that don't come to the seminar say, I follow Dan Peña, I'm linked to him on LinkedIn, That's fine. If I can help you in your career, Allah be with you, God be with you, Buddha be with you. But I'm not using social media as an interface to generate business. Because I give everything away free, and I have for many years. And why do I give it away free? And I've said this ad nauseum until I'm blue in the face. Because I want to take the last excuse you've got for not fulfilling your dreams, because the information's free. I've said countless times, 99.9% of all the people that have benefited from QLA, I've never met, talked to. I wouldn't know them if they came in here and pissed on the floor. The 0.1% are the people that have come to this seminar, and since I stopped giving outside seminars, the turn of the century, 16, 17 years ago, it's only the people that come to the castle that I've actually touched. Now, I would be disingenuous if I didn't tell you the Hall of Famers I all touched. Now, there are other people that deserve to be on the Hall of Fame I don't know about. There are also other people that deserve to be on the Hall of Fame that don't want to be on the Hall of Fame. And we've got a deal. If you want anonymity, that's fine. I know that you've been successful. I know you created $200 million, I can trace all the numbers back and they're real. But if you don't want, that's fine. Then we don't talk about you and we don't put you on the Hall of Fame. Now, as they die, because I plan on outliving all of them, I'll put them up because then they've got, my agreement doesn't go in perpetuity after they're dead. And we have a number like that. But you're here for a number of reasons, but if love got the job done, you wouldn't be here. I'm not saying not to love anything or not to love anybody, but if you don't love yourself, you can't do QLA. Nobody loves Dan Peña more than Dan Peña. And if my first wife, God love her, and my current wife for many years, Sally, they worship the ground I walk on, but their love is transitory in comparison to my love for myself. This seminar is all about you being selfish. Just what your parents taught you not to be. Selfish for yourself. You want to save the fucking world? I'll be with you. Go make a cajillion dollars like the Gates, Buffett, and a number of other people, and then go save the world. I believe it's very meaningful that Elon has walked away from Tesla. We'll talk about that during the week. And already, the first person that I asked about it, which was a doctor, she's a PhD, and she thought just like the morons. Why? And I thought just the antithesis, because I know why he fucking walked away. And you don't. And that's why you're here. And that's why we've had unprecedented results with QLA over the 24 years that I've been doing it. Over the 24 years. Unprecedented. Again, I want you to be selfish. Again, I talk about numbers and nobody else does. Why? Because nobody else has got any motherfucking numbers. Now, the fourth or fifth day in the seminar, depending on how we go, I normally tell this story, but I'm going to tell it now. Based on, I looked at YouTube, all the pundits telling me, either my hair is crooked or I've gained weight, I lost weight. Shouldn't you be on crutches because I've got 2 new knees, blah, blah, blah. But it brought something to light, and I want to say it now. What I teach you to do here, Andrew Carnegie was doing 120 years ago. Simple. M&A, mergers and acquisitions, has gotten very complex now. The financial markets, fintech, has gotten very complex now. Derivatives, and algorithms, yada, yada, yada. It's not a complex deal. What I teach you is not complex. But when Andrew Carnegie met with Napoleon Hill umpteen years ago for the weekend at Nob Hill in San Francisco, which is a whole other story, which I poke fun at. Why would an old man spend a weekend with a young kid? But anyway, that's a whole other deal. And he gave me the opportunity to write the book, which was unnamed at that time, about the laws or rules of success, right? Everybody knows that story. Success, right? Success. And legend has it, he pulled his watch out and he gave him 60 seconds or 30 seconds or whatever to make his decision, and he made the decision to do it, yes, and then the other shoe dropped and said, well, you're going to make no money, it's going to take you 20 years, yada, yada. Everybody knows that story, right? Okay. It was success. So now he spends the next 20 years and he comes up with the name Think and Grow Rich. I would have named it Don't Think and Grow Rich, Pull the Fucking Trigger, but that's Dan Peña. Then Andrew Carnegie dies, Napoleon Hill is broke in the late 50s, early 60s. A guy named W. Clement Stone, God love him, an old insurance fucking peddler, door to door, who built a big company called Combined Insurance from Chicago. Approaches Napoleon Hill, and some people say because he wanted to give him a break, he's bust, he's got no money. He had abandoned his son, who was born with no ears. There's a whole bunch of stories. Nobody knows the real truth about any of these guys, including the current, saints of personal development. And he says that we need something to sell to the masses. I've got a big insurance audience. I sell a lot of policies. In those days, they used to sell them over the kitchen table. Now, I've seen the sun go down at a kitchen table and the sun come up at a kitchen table selling insurance in my lifetime. Probably nobody in this room has. Probably few people that are viewing us on YouTube. He said, but success is too difficult. Why is it difficult? Because it's you can measure it. You either did it or you didn't do it. You either made money or you didn't make money. You either bought real estate or you didn't buy real estate, right? Your portfolio either grew or didn't. We're going to sell something that you can't measure. You can't get a hold of it, as they say in Texas. We're going to sell a motherfucking amorphous. We're going to sell smoke. And i.e. personal development was born. Because you can't measure personal development. Because it's motherfucking smoke. And that's what most of you, if not all of you in this room, have followed. PD. Now, I didn't believe when Ted Nicholas, God love him, who came to my first seminar here, one of the great marketing minds of the last 50 years, who lives in Switzerland, right near where you come from, I believe. He said, Dan, the personal development business is a $1 billion business. It's one fucking dollar going around to a billion morons. I didn't believe him, as they say in Scotland. I didn't want to believe him. I thought he was trying to keep me out of the business. If I had believed him then, I would have never gotten this fucking business. Because there's several things I'd never do again. One, get in this fucking business. Because I underestimated geometrically how hard it is to get you fucking cocksuckers across the goal line. Two, I'd never buy a castle again. Because something fucking breaks every day. Yesterday, 2 things broke. We had to have the roof. I don't know if some of you that were arriving when the fucking roofers were here. I had a leak. The people that are inside the castle and the top floor, water was coming in like a fucking waterfall. I said, well, what timing? Why don't you wait, until the middle of the night, 3 in the morning to make it, Anyway, so we had the run. Something else broke. I forget what something else. And the third thing I wouldn't do is I would never build a fucking golf course. What possessed me? What in God's name? Why, Allah, would I build like a fucking golf course? So those are just some of the things that I wouldn't do. But you're right at the top of the list. I'd never do this again. But since I'm in the business, and since I decided several years ago that I was going to be the best that ever walked, they're going to talk about me, not Jesus. They're going to talk about me, not Allah. They're going to talk about me, not Buddha. When it comes to creating wealth for the morons, for the masses. They're going to talk about me, not Lenin. That's communism for you guys that don't read too much. And to answer Four Eyes' question, I'm here because I'm selfish, not because I give a fuck about you. And as I said at University of Chester a few months ago, don't attribute too much Saint Teresa to me. You happen to be the manifestation of my selfishness for myself. And so why do I give the year mentor free, which you will benefit from? To take one more excuse away from you. You may not become a billionaire, but everybody in this room is going to benefit. I got an email, which we're going to talk about in depth, from a lazy Italian, and I hope you're watching, who dropped out of the mentor program after 4, 5, 6 months. Came to the seminar in August of 2014. And he wrote me a letter that he just sold his bullshit business for 10 million euros. That thing was no more worth 10 million euros than you are worth 10 million euros. But he did some things. He made some changes. He didn't follow QLA 100%. He maybe only followed it 10%. But he's 10 million euros. And most of you would settle today to cut a deal with the devil. If I write you a check for 10 million euros right fucking now, go away, don't bother me, do not pass go, do not collect $200 fucking dollars, get out of my life, you just get up and leave. And he did it by accident. Brian QLA Rose is a great example of change for those of you that follow him. He attended the seminar in October 2014, and you've seen the manifestation of his business, how he looks, how he talks, etc., etc. And he's only doing 5 or 10% of what I tell him to do, or told him to do. He doesn't listen to me right now, but that's life. It's like all my kids went through a stage that they're smarter than me. My kids are now old enough, they're not smarter than me. But there was 5 or 6 or 8 years that they were all smarter than I am. So you're here because you're not happy. People come to me because of desperation or inspiration. And I know at least one of you in your paperwork said that you were inspired. Well, I'm going to prove to you beyond a shadow of a doubt you're not fucking inspired. You're here because you're desperate. I'm the last guy. I'm the last saloon on Main Street. This is it. If you don't make it here, the odds are you're not going to make it. This is the last motherfucking saloon you can get a fucking beer at. Or a seltzer water for you snowflakes or whatever the fuck. When I was 2 weeks ago in Los Angeles meeting with showbiz people, every motherfucker was drinking bubbly water. Some with a lime in it, some with a twist. I was the only person that had a cup of coffee. The only one. Many, many meetings. Some girl who's supposed to be a star of digital marketing comes to visit me wearing hot pants. I mean, up to here. I couldn't see her curlies, but almost. And cowboy boots. Are you fucking kidding me? You only have one time to make a first impression, kids. And you already know what my impression was. I was dressed like this. Every goddamn meeting. And I didn't conform by drinking bubbly water. Actually, where we were, the coffee tastes like ant piss. Wasn't strong enough. So I don't want there to be any misunderstandings. I don't care about you. I don't love you. And as I said last night, I'm never going to be the ambassador of joy and hope or whatever the fuck I said. Something like that. Because I'm not. But that's not what I'm trying to be. This is me all the time. At my birthday 2 years ago, we had, it was open to, in addition to the very few friends that I have, QLA mentees. And after the second day, it was a 3-day event. My daughter, who just turned 30 now, she was 28 then, said, Daddy, I mean, these people are morons. They keep asking me the same question. Is your father really like this? Did he really raise you like this? My kid brother, who is now 58, he was 56 then, who's the number 2 guy in the largest fire department in the world, Los Angeles County Fire Department. He went up the civil service route. He's a very high-performance guy. Asked me the same thing. My sons asked me the same thing. They asked Sally the same thing. Is he really like this? Because you don't believe that anybody can be like this 24/7, 365. Because it's so much the antithesis of you and how you were raised. I'm the role fucking model, the alpha male father you never fucking had. And needed. All of you needed a fucking beating. And a couple of you have said that, oh, my mother beat me or my dad beat you. And we'll define what a beating is later on in the week. But I'm sure by my definition, nobody even got slapped. I said it last night. I'm going to say it again. General Mattis and President Trump, and I don't agree with everything Trump says or does, made me proud to be an American yesterday when they put a gun to the head of North Korea and said, we'll pull the motherfucking trigger and we'll make you a parking lot. On that happy note, YouTube, go fuck yourself.